Alright guys, today we're going to pedal with this old 2500 Chevrolet HD. It's a 2009 Chevrolet with the 6.0 gas engine in it. It's got 150,000 miles on it. I bought it from a county and they just put new heads on it. And it didn't have any oil pressure when they got finished putting the heads on it, so I bought it and they said it didn't have no oil pressure. So it's got oil pressure. It cranks up and runs. It runs fine. It runs good actually, but it is got a low oil pressure. So we're gonna see if we can do a couple of things here and get the oil pressure to come up on this thing. I believe it's the oil filter they got on it. I believe the oil filter is just stopped up, or it's got a bad valve in it or something, but I would bet money it's the oil filter, or it's the oil cooler on these things. These things got that oil cooler that it's got to run all the way through the radiator, then back to the motor, and it's pressurized oil the whole time. And that's your oil pressure for your engine trying to push oil off through that cooler, where it ought to be on a bypass system where it's not the oil pressure from the engine pushing oil through the cooler. It needs to be a bypass where it's not the, it's a different pump cooling the oil. But anyways, this thing, it takes away from the oil pressure trying to push all that oil through the oil cooler in the radiator. So we're probably going to bypass the oil cooler, put a new filter on it. Let me show you what the oil pressure is right now. So right now we have about that much oil pressure, 25 pounds, probably 20 pounds. When it warms up and you put it in gear, it's a little less than what I like to have, but I guarantee you a new oil filter and bypassing that oil cooler, we're probably going to get 10 more pounds of oil pressure, which will be plenty sufficient to run this thing for thousands more miles. I don't even know why they put them oil coolers on them, because my Silverado with 300,000 miles on it's got 48 pounds of oil pressure on the original engine, and it does not have an oil cooler on it, and it never needed an oil cooler on it, and it's just extra stress on these oil pumps trying to push that oil through all that, and then through a dirty filter. So these are my opinions. If you don't like my opinions, put it in the comments what you think. But I've worked on a bunch of these things, and like I said, they just put new heads on this thing. It don't even have 100 miles on the new head. New head's a head gasket's a head gasket. Well, the head probably cracked on it. They had an overheating problem. They put new heads on it, and now it don't overheat. But it sure don't have no good oil pressure. You drive it down the road, and it'll get down there around 15, which is what you see it right now, getting down there lower. Like I said, apparently right after they put the heads on it, it didn't have any oil pressure. But we're gonna swap those things out, and put an oil filter on it, and then we're gonna bypass the oil cooler with one of these ICP billet bypass. I keep these things, I keep them in my parts drawer here. It's a little ICP, ICT something. Just the fact, you know, a factory engine came with an oil bypass cover on it, the oil cooler bypass. This is just a billet one with an O-ring. You know, just a regular, like I said, my Silverado 1500 has got a factory one of these on it. It's never had an oil cooler. Like I said, it's got 48 pounds of oil pressure with close to 300,000 miles on it. So we're gonna jack this thing up and swap that out, and we'll see if the oil pressure don't go up. I just about bet it will. All right, I'm gonna set you up here on a thing and we'll get to work. Bobby, you gonna have to speak up back there. Bobby's nervous as a camera. He's afraid y'all gonna talk bad about him. Oh, Bobby! Come on, Bobby! Always put your jack stands underneath your vehicle. Don't climb underneath them without your jack stands. And good jack stands. Don't use don't stack up wood. Use some good jack stands. Things ever fall on you, be dead. You'll meet Bobby. You and Bobby will have a dinner together. Oh, Bobby. Bobby wasn't so nervous you didn't hear him talking, but he ain't got much to say today. He don't have much to say. Cat got his tongue. The dog's out to play. So we went down to the store down there and we got us one of them here MicroGuard 57060s. They pretty decent filter. We'll try this booger out in there and see if it don't make the oil pressure go up, but I guarantee you we're gonna get a little more. Good new filter and this here bypass on that oil cooler. Somebody turn the heat on in here. So we're gonna pop this filter off and let the oil drain down so we try not to get burnt. That hot motor oil will burn you. All right, let's move in a little closer. Bad when you get old. You gotta have headlamps and these old glasses so you can see what you're doing. If you ain't got them, you can't see what's going on. It's almost like you're blind. What'd you say? I said, I'm blind. That's what I said. I said, look at there, look at there. All right, here we go. Here we go. I've run into this problem before. You know, it's just sad that we don't make oil filters in the United States anymore. All these damn Chinese oil filters with Chinese parts and all that jazz. You know, you don't know how they're made, or if they're made any good, or if they're real, or if they're copies of something. You know, a good AC Delco filter used to be made in the USA, and a Wix filter. The hell, you can't get none of them anymore that are made in the USA. You get this Chinese. So then you gotta go through them all to find some halfway decent Chinese junk. Like these, made in China. I mean, the Wix filter down there, same part number, made in China. It's just ridiculous. Don't nobody make them. Some of them you can find made in Mexico, but it just pisses me off that we don't make a good filter in the United States anymore. Sad. But that's what the problem is. I bought these filters brand new, put them on there, and don't have no oil pressure because the filter's junk. So then you got to take that one off and put another one on there, and you got to keep going through filters till you find a good one. I don't like it. So this is what they had on it, was a Car Quest premium filters made in China. It's an 84 060, but it's either plumb stopped up or it's just a junk filter. Like I said, every one of them is made in China. Made in China. Junk. We'll put another Chinese made filter on there and see if it don't change the pressure. Backbone ringing. Oh. Yeah, the bad thing about a four-wheel drive is that all this stuff we're trying to work on is right above the drive shaft on that four-wheel drive, and it's just hard to get your hands up in there to work on it. We're gonna get her done here. We're gonna get her done. By golly. By golly, Wally. Oh, by golly, Wally. I wish old Bobby felt better. He'd be over entertaining y'all. You apparently don't feel so good. He ain't saying nothing. Alright, battery went dead, so I lost you there at some point. Or the camera got too hot or something. These things, they don't like the heat. Got to put a cooling system on this booger. Put an oil cooler. We'll take the oil cooler off this truck, put it on the GoPro. Alright, we got that swapped out. We got the billet bypass valve on there. Let's crank it up and see what our oil pressure is now. Here we go. Oh baby. So we got about 10, 12 more pounds hot. The engine's still hot. It hasn't cooled off, and it's still 200 something degrees. So we got about 10 more pounds or 12 more pounds of oil pressure. And then it's cruising, which will be about right in there somewhere. We're gonna have close to 40. So yeah. Looks good to me. It's better than it was. Them oil coolers, there's a lot there to push oil through. The little old pump just don't like having to push it all through that cooler and then have to push it through the engine. So I'm satisfied. I wouldn't be scared to pull a trailer with it now. Alright, we're gonna get this thing off jack stands, and we're gonna take it out and drive it now. So. And hopefully, we can sell this one, because I want a crew cab, the same truck. I want a 2009 or a 2010 crew cab, 2500 HD. With a 6.5 foot bed gas burner. But I got this one for sale. If anybody's interested in a good little old extra cab, 150,000 miles on it. Alright guys, we're gonna take this thing down the road and see if everything works right on it. So we're gonna take a little voyage down through here and go get a little gasoline. We're about out of gas, so we're gonna take her down the road, check everything out, and see how she runs. See what it does. So far, so good. Got a couple lights on the dash. The tire pressure monitor and the stable track light are on after we drive it for a few minutes. The stable track light should go off, we'll see. And the airbag light. Seatbelt on here so we can not go through the windshield if something happens. Somebody run over a skunk. There's a dead skunk laying back there and it stinks. It smells like, woo, like a dead skunk for some reason. Yeah, I've been wanting one of these gas burner 6.0 trucks for a while, but the Gen 4 6.0 just doesn't seem to be up to par. I think I'm gonna get me a Gen 3. They seem to be a little better setup than this thing. I like the 4L80 transmission better than this 6L90. They seem to be a little more reliable. But we'll drive it for a little while, see what it does. So far it's holding good oil pressure. Big heavy truck. Like I said, I'm not too happy with the Chin 460 motors. I believe I'll find me a 2001 to 2006 2500 HD and put me a set of 243 heads on it. Put a little cam in it. That's the 4L80 transmission. This thing just shifts too many times. Every time you push the gas a little bit, it wants to shift, downshift. But it cruises right along. Gets about 8 miles to the gallon. Just like a big block truck. Speeding into town here. We'll whip her in here and get us some petrol. Fill us up some. Fill us up some little gas pump here. go juice. Damn, this stuff's expensive. Every time you turn around, it gets more and more. Hang in there. See, you the boss, ain't you? Well, she ain't saying nothing. She'll learn to speak English one day, and then we'll get a good conversation out of her. But till then, all you gonna get's a grunt. That right, PB. Alright, we went to a test drive there, and everything works good. It's got decent oil pressure. It's just old beat up work truck, but it'll make somebody a good little driver. Got a little ding here and a little dent there. She ain't got no rust in her though. She's a good southern truck. Good old southern truck. So we're gonna put this in the bad boy up for sale and see if we can pass it on to the next customer and let them drive the wheels off of it, cause like I said, we're gonna find us a good 2000 to 2006 2500 four-door HD, cause I really just not satisfied with that Gen 4 6.0 engine. So alright, till the next one, you guys have a good day, and be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you.